I could apologize, but I'm on a bit of a jag. I was born an American, immigrated to Canada when we were little, so I have, I guess, more of a worldview of what America is doing and calling it democracy and freedom. To those Americans who believe that the country even remotely stands for what the Founding Fathers looked for, the pursuit of happiness, one of those things, remember that in the Constitution? If you're not looking around and seeing what's actually going on, and you're saying, oh yes, this is a great government and this is a great country, I'm not saying the country's not great, but I'm saying that if y'all are supporting the two parties that are in power in the United States of America, that you're going to have to take a lot of responsibility for innocent deaths. People who have died at the hands of the Americans, the American policies, let's say the government, the politicians of Americans and their policies. Again, I was just reading in Noam Chomsky's book, he was talking about, and I'd read this figure before, that the number of innocent people killed between the first Iraq War and the second, that both of the Bushes were responsible for, father and son, that there was somewhere between 100 and 300,000 people died because of the embargo that they also have against this violent, vicious, horrible country called Cuba. Again, that's complete sarcasm. We just came back from there, and it's a wonderful place that's been hamstrung by a lot of policies, but I'm real proud to have gone there, and I really like the place. But if you're supporting your politicians and saying they're doing a good job, then I think you should take partial responsibility for the 100 to 300,000 innocent deaths of the people of Iraq when they put the embargoes against the country. That's not including the start of the war. That's not including all the other countries we've gone in and imperialistically raped their lands and illegally set up policies that obviously work in our favor. I like America. I don't go back very often. I like Canada. I went back this year, and I like the Canadians. They seem to have a different perspective. There were a lot of them in Cuba. When I was in Cuba, I traveled on my Swiss passport and told them I was raised in Canada. Only one Canadian. You have an awfully strong American accent for somebody who's... I said, and they caught me out. I told a couple of people. But the rant is just about what's going on. Noam Chomsky said if people are going to wake up, it's just going to take a little critical thinking, a little looking around and seeing what is actually going on. Before we went into the second Iraq War, I'm trying to think of the name of a movie. It's got, oh, poop, I'll think of it in a minute. But a UN advisor wrote a book on why they couldn't have weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And why are we going in there? There was no reason, there were no threat. The American people have been whooped up to all this fear that this little tiny country could even remotely, Bill Hicks used to say it was the Imperial Republic Guard to the Imperial Guard, to that the Republicans made the guards up around Iraq about having any defense whatsoever because we just walked in there. But a lot of innocent people died. When those two planes hit the towers, less than 3,000 died, and 300,000 in Iraq. That's not democracy, that's not freedom, that's imperialism, that's aggression, that's hegemonic views on the world. And if you support the parties in America, that's what you're supporting. You're supporting some pretty sinister people doing some really violent, outrageous things to the world with absolutely no regard. So that's my rant for today. www.micpeakperformance.com